It's now time for another edition of Jacket Sports Talk, sponsored by Optum Sports Medicine, patient focused, physician owned. Here is your host, Optum Sports Medicine athletic trainer, Mr. Jeff Weems.
Welcome, JD fans, to the next installment of JD Jacket Talk. Today we've got senior quarterback Conner Rea with us. So we're coming off a big win this week at home, the first home playoff game that Jeff Davis has hosted in 23 years, and first playoff win in 23 years against Washington County, which was the alma mater of our head football coach, Lance Helton. So obviously a big win. So Conner, tell us about Saturday night. We kind of played on a different night than normal, and kind of take us through that behind the scenes, what that was like as a player.
Well, I mean, Saturday night for one was just an amazing feeling being able to be a part of that. And not a lot of people say they can, win a playoff game and even have a playoff game at home.
Right.
But practice was a little different this week. Not having school, we had to change things up. Practice in the morning instead of the evening, and they moved the game back. They moved the game back a day, so they gave us Thanksgiving off, spend time with our families. So that was good. That was good to give us some time with them. But it was different all week. But man, Saturday was a great feeling to have.
Right. So intensity-wise, did it feel just like another game to you guys as players, or
no? It was definitely more intense. The fans brought a lot of energy.
Right.
I don't think I've ever seen the stands that packed out
right.
in a very long time. And just them being there, being loud, brought us to a whole nother level of playing. So. Right.
So so obviously as a senior, you're part of Coach Helton and this staff's. You've grown up in the program with only Coach Helton being your head football coach. So take us through playing in this program, and your journey and your path to this season.
Well, so year one was really hard. It was his year of changing the program around.
Mm-hmm.
It was, of course, all of us seniors now, back then freshmen, it was what we were used to. We came in, we didn't know what to expect. So the first day we were like, okay, well, this is normal.
Right.
But then you talk to the guys from the year before, and they're like, oh, no, it's changed a lot. So you just think well, this is normal for us. So it was tough. It was really, it's been really tough 4 years, but totally worth it.
Right.
Every minute.
Right. And so, the first 3 years, we had an all-region quarterback in Britt Metz, and so you were his backup. So coming into the senior and to your senior year, had an opportunity to take the starting job, but that didn't just get handed to you.
Right. No. So being Britt's backup, Britt being the starter for his 4 years of high school, being the backup's not all glamorous and having all the lights on you and stuff.
Right.
But you get to really dig deep into the game, learn the game a lot, and Britt taught me a lot about the game that I didn't know. Mm-hmm. So being his backup, he showed me things. Coach Helton showed me things that I never known. So maybe I wasn't getting all the honor and glory by being the backup, but I did learn a lot for this year. So.
Okay. And so you went through the preseason. There was a little bit of a quarterback battle, and you,
yes, sir.
Took that over. I know, the other night on the radio, I don't know if you got a chance to see that. I was able to sit down with Jim and talked about, one of the things that's just going to be with me forever because it's such a cool, just awesome play of in that scrimmage game when you had that run and you're spinning and juking and running over guys and the sideline screaming, "That's my quarterback!" and how you won the team over that day. And you led us into battle into our first game. So tell us what it was like to, after a 3-year wait, going through a quarterback battle to win the job and then finally getting to lead your team onto the field. Well, what was that like in that first week?
That quarterback battle was one of the toughest things ever. There was a lot of us. They moved people from different positions to come try out, and we didn't know what was going to happen. But then whenever, you finally got they finally told you, hey, you're the starting quarterback, and then, you get all excited, and then you're like, oh crap,
Now I got to do it.
now I got to do it. So like, the first game, throughout warm-ups, I was probably the nervous I've ever been in my life. So going through warm-ups, I was just trying to focus. Hey, I earned the job. They trust me. They believe in me, so I can do it. So I was nervous at first, and then we got to the banner to run out. We ran out, and you see all the fans cheering and hollering, and you're like, okay, is this happening? It's real. Then the first drive happens, and you're like, oh, it's not that bad. I mean, it's just practice with other people.
Right.
And then the next drive happens, and then at the end of the game, you get the win, and it's like, I can get used to this.
Yeah, absolutely. So now in that game, though, I don't think anybody looks at you and says, man, that guy's just an absolute burner. He's a runner. But our first touchdown was you running the option and pulling it and taking it to the house.
Yeah, so that was a really good feeling. I don't know how to explain that one.
Right.
That's a feeling I've never had, and I don't know if I can get used to that one. I'd love to feel that one more time.
Well, now was the 3-year wait worth it to cross that goal line?
For 100%, for sure. Yes,
okay.
sir.
So we're rocking along in that game. Game's going well. We're kind of late. There's unfortunately a fumbled exchange between you and the center, and you pick the ball up and stick it through. Turn something in out of nothing. Right. But you end up hurting your ankle.
Yes, sir. So me and the center, we didn't have fumble snap all game, and then that play happened, and fumbled the snap, picked it up, just try to get what I could get, and one of their biggest guys fell in the back of my ankle. And in the moment, it hurt, but it didn't feel like a broken ankle. I thought it was just something sprained, so I was like, walk it off.
Right.
Get out there, play some more.
Right.
So.
And so we were able to kind of tape you up and get you back on the field to kind of kneel it out.
Yes, sir.
But afterwards, got X-rays and showed that you had an actual fracture of the fibula.
Yes, sir.
And you had to undergo surgery to put a plate and 9 screws in there. So talk to us about that from the mental aspect, and you can kind of go into the whole rehab process, because really until recently, I mean, it's taken essentially the whole season.
Okay, so we went. We couldn't go immediately because we had to wait for the swelling to go down for the X-rays, and then we couldn't go Monday because it was a holiday, so everybody was closed. So I had ended up going on Tuesday. Got the X-rays from Spivey, and it was fractured, and so we went a week. And then just a little splint type deal. And he said he was going to make a decision about surgery or casting it after the splint. He said it didn't look that bad, so it'd probably be a cast. Well, we came back and the gap had gotten wider, so he didn't feel comfortable with it. So he wanted immediate surgery. So the next day I had surgery. Was in a splint for 2 more weeks, then a cast for another week, and then he finally let me put a boot on and start walking for 2 more weeks. And then got out of that. And once I got in my boot, me and you started doing rehab. First, it was just getting the range of motion back, trying to get used to using your ankle again, and then, then you move into the point of getting the actual strength of the ankle and like being able to jump off of it, do the normal things of an ankle, and that's basically what we're at right now.
Right. But mentally, I mean, because sadly, injuries are a part of the game, whether it's football or baseball or any other sport. But, how have you persevered, and what's been your mindset through this process?
Well, it's not a really good feeling to have. It's been really tough for me personally, my senior year and all that. But each practice, you go out there and you just say, practice for those guys, try to make them better. And then when you get to Friday nights, Saturday, you think be the best teammate you can be. Pick everybody up. Try to help them mentally win the game, whether you're out there or not. It's all about the team. So.
Right. Yeah, and and to your credit, that's what I've seen all year from you. And everybody has tremendous respect. Because it's difficult to get injured, A, but B, particularly in your senior year and what you've gone through to reach that point.
Yes,
So, again, you're to be commended for that, and we all wish that we could take it away and it not have happened. But so tell us about the future. What's in the future for Conner Rea?
Well, I just actually figured out what I wanted to do probably a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. I decided that I was going to go to college and become a teacher and coach. So the coaches have made a big impact on me, and that's what I decided I wanted to go and be. So.
Right, awesome. Well, now, and that's fantastic because we all need, good coaches, quality people, and you're certainly one of those. But we still got some unfinished business to do,
yes, sir.
and the season's still in front of us.
Yes, sir.
Never know what could happen from that standpoint. Now, your brother, Trey, he suffered an injury this season as well.
He did.
Has what you've gone through, have you been able to help him in any part of that, or is it just more the brotherly love of you're fine, you get over there so I can?
It's a little bit of both. Taking care of him when he's on his crutches, but now he's off his crutches.
Yeah.
He can do it himself.
That's right. Okay. Now you're a two-sport guy.
Yes, sir.
So you play baseball as well. Give us some. What's the contrast between football and baseball?
Oh, the coaches are totally different. One of them, they just bring different things to the table, put it like that. Different environment for sure. It just, I don't know,
Yeah.
I mean,
So there's a big thing right now in sports about being a multi-sport athlete, and college coaches and even professional coaches and scouts and GMs are tout that guys who play multiple sports do really well.
Right.
So have you found that playing football has helped you on the baseball field and vice versa?
I'd say so. They both teach you different, characteristics, I guess, traits. Baseball, you got to be patient because, it's a very long game. Sometimes the ball's hit to you, sometimes it's not. And then, when you go to hit, you hit maybe, once every 3 innings, maybe, unless you're having a really good inning. So it teaches you a lot of patience. And then, football with, a lot of feet work type stuff, it is a really big difference between throwing. You go from quarterback, you have to throw over the top, and then I'm playing third base. You got to throw from down the side sometimes. So figuring out different ranges and getting that back. So teaches all kind of things.
Right. But now, when you're on first and there's a ground ball on the infield and you got a chance to go bust up two, are you really wishing you could go in with your shoulder and just lay the guy out like you can in football?
A lot of times.
Yeah. So. All right, well, good deal. Well, Conner, again, I know, the season hasn't personally turned out well for you, but, I asked you a question yesterday. Would you take kneeling down and taking that last snap for us 4 more times? And your answer was?
100% yes.
Absolutely. So, but again, you never know. Hopefully, you may get a chance to lead us there too. So, but certainly very proud of you. Have enjoyed having you in the program. You're a tremendous role model for the whole team and how to deal with stuff. And all of this is going to help you in the future, particularly as you become a coach, because now you're going to be able to communicate and know what your players are going through.
Yes, sir.
So, but we got some unfinished business
Yes,
to
sir.
do, and so this kind of wraps up this segment of Jacket Sports Talk, and I hope you've enjoyed the time here with Conner as much as I have, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with our next guests. Welcome back, Jacket fans, to the next segment of JD Jacket Sports Talk. So we now have with us senior place kicker, field goal kicker Audiel Plascencia, and also senior safety Willie Skipper. So Audiel, you're a two-sport guy. You play soccer as well, and are the goalie. So what's kind of some differences between soccer and football as being the place kicker? Because everybody assumes that if you can play soccer, you can go kick a football. Is that really the case, or is it a little different than that?
It's a really different scenario. Like, when I first started playing football, I thought it was going to be easy since, like, I could probably transfer from kicking a soccer ball to a football, but it's a different shape. So what people don't realize is that you have to have the right contact to hit a football than a soccer ball.
Mm-hmm. So, and not to kind of get into the weeds on that, but with a soccer ball, is it that the swing of your leg kind of is more circular, and with football you kind of got to be more straight ahead, almost like a golf club, using your leg as a golf club?
Yes, sir. It's a whole different type of swing.
Right. Okay. And so how long did it take you to kind of get a feel for kicking a football versus a soccer ball?
Probably took me about my sophomore year, probably half of the season, to be honest.
Right.
To get like the use of like getting the right contact to the football,
Mm-hmm.
the foot to the
Okay.
football.
All right. So it's not as simple as just walking out there and kicking a football.
Yeah, it's
All
not-
right. Very good. And you do a fantastic job with it. So Willie, you've got an interesting story. So you're from Hazelhurst.
Yes, sir.
And then you moved out to Seattle, Washington, which is just a few miles away from Georgia. And then you had an opportunity to come back for your senior year into Georgia. And I hear rumors that you had some family members that were trying extremely hard to get you to go to some other county to play football. So,
Yes,
so tell us about, coming back to Hazelhurst and kind of that dynamic and playing football here this year.
Well, coming back was probably the best choice I could make my senior year because there's no place like home, and being back has been a blessing, and I'm glad I came back because playing football with the boys I grew up with playing with is better than getting to know people and trying to be me and like trying to fit in, but being home is a blessing, and I'm happy I'm back.
Yeah, well, I know we're certainly thrilled and happy to have you this year. But you played football in Seattle as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. And so talk to us about, obviously Georgia and South Georgia is a very good football. We're all very proud of the product that we put on the field, collectively as a high school football community. So we think our game is really, really good here, and we believe that. So talk to us about, what's the difference between football in Seattle, Washington, what you were exposed to, and playing down here in South Georgia?
Well, in Seattle, it's an air raid. Most people want to pass the ball and spread offense.
Mm-hmm.
Down here in South Georgia, we like to ground and pound. We want to run it at you, run it up your throat.
Mm-hmm.
So the big difference is down here, you better be ready to get hit.
So does it develop a different sense of toughness and
Oh, for sure.
yeah, okay, good. And so now with both of you being seniors, we're having a fantastic season. So Audiel, tell us, what this season's kind of meant to you to this point, as we've gone through this.
It's probably been the best feeling for me in quite a while. I mean, it means a lot to me, knowing that we've came this far and knowing that we have another game to continue to work for, and it means a lot.
Right, good deal. So now, for those that are kind of watching the game pretty closely, when you kick off, there's some times that I've noticed as I'm watching the game and kind of looking for injuries to happen and whatnot, that when sometimes guys get around you on kickoffs, it seems like they end up on the ground pretty quickly. What kind of happens right there?
I mean, there's been a few times where the opposite team wants to come block me, and if they want to come hit me, then I'll go hit them first. Like
Right.
Coach Helton says, punch them in the mouth first.
There you go. You just kind of put them on their backside.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you. So I guess that might be one of the other misnomers is that, soccer players are a little wimpy, but you really kind of take the opposite approach out there, and you trying to go initiate some contact.
Yes, sir.
I hear you.
Indeed.
So now Willie, you've done a phenomenal job at safety, and picked off a few balls. Tell us about your game at Long County, where on back-to-back plays, you had a pick six. I mean, what was going on right there? I mean, did you pack your Superman cape that day or what?
It was ATCO, but
Oh, okay, there we go.
it was just, I had a lot of adrenaline. Like, I was focused, keying in on what Coach Poole taught me, and I seen that the ball was in the air, and then my job with Coach Poole is to go get it, and I went and got it. And then once I had it, I couldn't do anything but run, and I seen the end zone, so I had to go get there.
Right. So, but now were those your first pick sixes of your career, or had you had some others prior to that, or?
Those are my first pick sixes of my high school career. I remember back in Little League, I caught one in Little League, rec football.
Right. Okay. So now Audiel, in the game, your longest field goal is a 40-yarder.
Yes, sir.
And then I've seen a video that you've got on YouTube. You're up at Toombs County on their turf field, and you put one in from 55 yards just practicing. So when you get that far back, I mean, does the field goal post look like there's hardly any room in between there, or what are you kind of thinking as you're going to make those big, long kicks like that?
To be honest, I just keep the same form and everything. It don't seem a lot of difference. I mean, it's basically from a 40 to 55. I keep the same mentality in my head, feeling like I'm gonna make it.
Right.
And I do.
And then, so in addition to handling the kickoff duties and the field goals, the extra points, you get split out there, and you've actually been able to catch a 2-point conversion. So now in preparation, because clearly we practice those plays all the time, and you knew that there's a chance that you may catch a 2-point conversion. Did you ever go back and watch some film or come up with a touchdown dance that you could do? Because I know soccer players, they love to celebrate now. So when you caught the ball, was there some kind of celebration you had planned? Or
I didn't have nothing planned. I mean, I didn't know I was going to catch the ball until I seen it in the air. All of a sudden, I just started jumping up and down.
All right, very good. So Willie, senior year, and again having a great year. Recruiting-wise, though, you've got some opportunities.
Yes, sir.
So talk to us about that.
I was blessed to receive 2 offers this year. I got one from the University of Round Heart and the University of Cumberland.
So as you're going through that process, I guess is that something that you were already thinking about? Wanting to go to the next level, or is this something that's kind of come about as you've gone through this season? Or
I've always wanted to play at the next level. It's been a childhood dream, and to have the opportunity to do that now, I see that I was blessed and given a gift.
Right. Okay. Well, good. Well, again, we're in the second round of the playoffs. The games, continue to get tougher because the teams are better. What's kind of the mindset going into this week, for the team as a whole? Where are y'all sensing that we're at?
We got to be hungry. We got to want it more than the guys next to us and across from us. Like, we got to love each other throughout everything and want to go get it more than they do.
Yep. And so Audiel, being a soccer player as well, Coach Lawson is y'all's head football coach. So what's the difference between Coach Lawson as the head football coach and Coach Helton as the head football coach?
I mean, there's really no difference. I mean, Coach Lawson, he makes us work, and Coach Helton, he makes us work too. He makes us have the right type of mentality on the field and off the field.
Right. Okay. Well, good deal. Well, gentlemen, it's we're not done yet. Hopefully, we get another month of playing, and I know that both of you guys are going to be instrumental parts in how we're moving forward. And just want to congratulate you on the fine seasons that you're having and the careers that you've had, and we're going to keep pushing forward. So Jacket fans, we're going to be this Friday night. We're going to be in Jefferson County, which is Louisville, Georgia, playing at 7:30 against Jefferson County. We hope you can make the trip and help to bring the Pinelands to Louisville, and see if you can't be the 12th man to lead us through into the third round of the playoffs. So until then, we'll see you then, and when you're wearing Navy,
You're as good as gold.